Hello ladies and gents, welcome to another repair video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different to my normal repair videos. This is a warranty repair and this has come back for a warranty because apparently it has no video output on the dock. Now I don't exactly know what I've done to this machine because it's been a couple of months. So basically I offer a 3-month warranty on all repairs. I think this is around about 6 weeks since I did this particular job. I haven't checked the logs, so I don't actually know what I did to it. But I'll check that before I actually get it back to Console Repair London where it's been sent from. Because obviously if it's something unrelated to the work that I did, then I'd have to bill for it. So basically this has come back under warranty and I'll show you the ticket before I get into anything. So any warranty job is always circled with the word return. So as you can see there, it says return, and for some reason it's just not focusing. So I've got to cover the name obviously because of the data protection and all of that sort of stuff. Come on, focus. Thank you. Right, so it says no video output on dock and return. Focus is a little bit weird for some reason. I don't know what's going on there, but basically it says that it's a warranty return, and I do remember the name, but I don't remember what I did to it. But now apparently it doesn't have any video output on the dock. So let's see what's happening with it first, and let's test it with my own dock, and then we'll get to actually figuring out what's wrong with it. So no video output on the dock can be several things. It can be a USB-C port. It can be M92T36, which is the power management IC, or it can be the P13 USB, which is the video IC. And yeah, it can be one of several things. So it's going to be interesting to find out exactly what this one is. So let's just plug in a HDMI cable and a power cable. So I need the official Nintendo Switch charger, wherever I've left it. I had it about an hour ago. There it is. Okay. Alright, so we've got charge, we've got power by the looks of it. I don't think it's turned on though. Yes, it is. Okay, so the console itself is turning on. So let's see what's going on with video output, and I do get a green light on the dock. So just there you can see I've got a green light, so it's recognizing that it is plugged into a dock, and the screen does go off, which means that it's switched to HDMI output. So let's switch over to the capture card and see what's going on. Okay, and as you can see there, we have a completely black screen, so definitely no output there on the dock. Right, okay, so like I said, no output on the dock can be several things. What I'm going to do before I actually go ahead and confirm that it's got no output on the dock is I'm going to test it on the TV itself. So on a proper TV, what any normal person would use. Because obviously I've got the HDMI capture setup and all of that sort of stuff. It's a really complex setup. And I want to make 100% sure that it's going to display. Or make 100% sure that it's not displaying, sorry, before I actually go ahead and start pulling it apart. So this is the cable that leads directly to the television. And I am fully aware that this TV is broken. I bought it like that for the sole purpose of using it for testing consoles, because I don't need a fully working screen to be able to test the console. So let's turn the TV on then. And it should be on the right input, and it is. No, I don't want to update apps. How do you know there's a new version? I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. Never mind. Right, so it's on the right input, and as you can see, we've just got the screensaver on the background there. So nothing at all showing up. Let's just disconnect and reconnect. Absolutely nothing. So not showing up at all on the dock. So this is actually it does show up as Nintendo Switch up in the top corner, so it is recognizing. And yeah, it's showing up as Nintendo Switch there as well. So let me see if I can get that on video. So I'll switch to this camera here, and that way then I can move. And as you can see there on the input for the TV, it says Nintendo Switch, but it's got no signal. Alright, so I'm going to take that out of there then, and as you can see, I've got it on a microfiber cloth. That's because my blue mat I need to clean. I haven't got round to it yet, and I've just been too busy, so I'm just using a microfiber cloth to make sure that I don't damage the customer screen, because I don't want to be damaging customer stuff when I take the consoles apart. So I do remember the name of this customer, so it can't have been that long. It's no way, there's no way it's more than 6 weeks, because I remember the name on the ticket. And I actually remember the console as well. But I'm almost certain, because I'm pretty sure I did this one on a stream, on a live stream. And I'm almost certain that I tested the dock. Almost sure of it. Okay, so let's remove the SD card there, and no screw there. That's odd. It must have been missing to start with. I've probably got one that I can put in it. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the console apart and basically just see if I can figure out what's going on. So there's no screw there, no screw there, no screw there. So there's 4 screws missing, so if I've got any lying around, I'll put some in, but if not, then I'm not going to panic. If they're not there now, then they was missing when I first looked at this, because a console never goes back without the screws being put back. If I've got any, then I'll definitely replace them. Sometimes I've just got none to replace it with, though, unfortunately. So I'm going to take this apart then. I'll fast forward through this bit because, you know, it's a time consuming process which clogs up the video. We want to get down to the nitty gritty stuff where we're actually fixing it, or figuring out what's wrong and then fixing it. Someone's been messing with this. Naughty, naughty, that battery's damaged. Someone's been messing with this. That wasn't damaged when I put this back together. There is, of course, another ground which can be used though, so that's not a major issue. Right, I think I remember this one now, and all of the screws was all chewed up. Not chewed up, the threads were knackered on the screws themselves. Yeah, the threads are all over the place on this. I think, if I remember rightly, this was a prior repair attempt. Alright, so motherboard is out then. So let's take a look at the board under the scope and just see what's going on. So I'm going to move the parts out the way. So I'm just going to basically pop everything into here and fold it up. Just move that to one side, and then we're left with just the board. That's all we need. Right, so I'm going to take a look under the scope then and just see what's going on with this machine then. Okay, so let's take a look at the port first of all then. So let's just get this in focus. There we go. And let's just examine the port, or the pins on the port, and just see if there's any issue with those. Nope, they appear solid. So I don't know who soldered that. I don't know whether it was me or someone else, but that appears absolutely fine. So let's take a look over here then. So this area here is M92T36. This is the power management IC. That doesn't look too clever. So let's do some tests on the power management IC then, and just see what the deal is with that, see if there's any shorts. So multimeter is in continuity mode, that's the mode that's going to beep when we complete the circuit, and I'm going to pop one probe on ground and just test these capacitors around here. And that appears fine. So let's check P13 USB. And let's just see if there's any shorts around here. And that appears good. Is that filter bad? Like, what is this all over the board? This wouldn't have been here when I left it. I've got a feeling someone else has been messing with this. There's flux all over the board, and that is not my flux. That is not my flux. The flux that I use does not go that colour. And it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. Why? Alright, that's a bit better. Alright, so now let's test these filters, because I didn't seem to be getting a very good connection on that. Okay, let's start with this one. Actually, let's start from the right because I'm left-handed. So that one's good. Haha. You see where the problem is, guys? We have a short from the left to the right side on this filter, and that's not normal. So the question is the filter to blame, or is it the chip? And the way to find that out is to remove the filter and then test each side of the chip itself, or each side of the pads. So we definitely have an issue on filter number 4. So let's get that filter off and just give it another test. So pop that to one side and test again. and the filter has gone bad. So chances are now, if we use the multimeter probes on the filter itself, if we can ever get it to stay still. No. So was it just bridged? I have a feeling that someone's been using hot air and they've bridged those filters. That's my feeling. Okay, so let's put that filter back on and see if it's still bridged. It could just be that I can't hold it still. There we go. Someone has definitely been messing with this console, because now we don't have a bridge, and all I've done to this is took that filter off and then put it back on. And now we have no bridge. Someone has been in this machine. That I am almost certain of. There's a flux that I've never seen before, and that filter was bridged. The question is, why was that filter bridged? Because it wouldn't have been bridged when I originally worked on the machine, because I would have found it straight away. I would have known. I would have known. Right. It's the same with this side as well. This is definitely 100% not my flux. And that does not look good on M92T36. Now, I don't know what I did to this, but that is not my flux, and that looks like it has been messed with. Someone has been inside messing, and they've used a cheap knockoff brand flux. Ah, I know what I did to this now. I replaced the fuse and the MOSFETs. I replaced this fuse here and the MOSFETs. I did not do any more work to this. I think I replaced this MOSFET here, this MOSFET here, this fuse and that cap. And I did it on a live stream, and I did not do anything else to the machine or to the console. So what that tells me is that someone's been inside this. They've done some additional work since I did this job, and they've screwed it up. That's what's happened here. I remember doing this on live stream, and a lot of viewers will also remember. If you did watch the live stream, it's the one where I couldn't do a full test on it because it was in Chinese. And I did test the dock. But I couldn't do a full test on it because I could not understand Chinese writing. So, someone has definitely been inside here. I did not mess with the video IC or the power management IC on this particular machine. So I'm going to give this a good clean once more. But I do recognise this console and I do now know what I did to it. I'm not sure if I changed the port. I could have changed the port as well. But I didn't mess with P13. I did not do anything to P13. So for that to be bridged, well, it says a lot. Someone has definitely been inside this. Okay. Right, so let's get this back together then and give it a test on the dock and see if that resolves the issue. I've got a feeling it might do. I'm not going to put it back together fully, I just want to test it. But I've got a feeling it might resolve the issues. One thing I'll do, I'll probably give the benefit of the doubt this time. Maybe. I'm going to try and get some backstory off Console Repair London on this because I don't believe it was like that. In fact, I'm going to find the stream and I'll include a clip of the stream in this video. And then I'll include a link to the full stream down in the description. But I've never seen my flux turn that colour, if that makes sense. The flux that I use the same flux. I've used the same flux for a year, and it's never. That was more of a gel type. It looked kind of like Vaseline, if I'm being honest. If I'm being perfectly honest, it looked a bit like Vaseline, and I've known people to use. Well, not personally, but I've known people use. People have used Vaseline as flux. Like it's used all the time in. I think China and India, people use Vaseline. As far as I know, that's the stories I've heard anyway. Right, so if that's the case, because I believe it is, but if that's the case, then the customer will have to be billed for this. If not, I might give them the benefit of the doubt anyway, but I will make it very, very clear that if this comes back once more with any kind of defects, other than genuine, like, defects related to what I've done, then it wouldn't be honoured under warranty. I do try and honour warranty wherever I can, but there's a line. There is a line that you have to draw, and this is getting pretty close to it. So I'm going to put this back together just enough to be able to test it. So I'm going to secure the charging port in as best I can, because all of the screw holes are screwed, pun intended. I do try and honour warranties wherever I can, but yeah, this one's questionable. I don't get that many warranties, and I always clean the board, and this had flux on it, some sort of residue on it. It had something on it. Now what that was, I don't know, but it certainly wasn't my flux. Okay, so I'm gonna put everything back together. Like, I'm gonna connect everything up, but I'm not gonna screw it all back down, because if it does need to come back apart, I don't want to waste any time. Okay, so that's back together enough for testing. So let's turn her on. There we go. Okay, I'm going to turn my TV on. I'm going to plug it in. Let me switch to the other camera first. Plug her in. Could have damaged P13. That could have damaged P13 being... Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, how is that become bridged? Because I definitely didn't mess with that that filter. There's no way on earth that has happened on its own. Unless the board has got so hot that it melted the solder and joined it together, then that's not possible. And getting that hot is not possible because it would die in that time. If the CPU got that hot, it would probably die. So, yeah, there's no way on earth that this has happened on its own. The residue that was on there looked a little bit like Vaseline. I'm not going to say it was. I don't know what it was. It was not my flux. My flux does not leave that kind of residue. It doesn't leave a translucent. Is that what it's called? Translucent? Why is that just? I think it's. Yeah, it's just. Never mind. It's just. It's gone into standby. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I mean, what more can I say on it? The EMI filter was bridged. Not sure how. I'm not going to speculate. I'm just going to get it back together, send it back, and probably on another warranty this time, and this time only. Another indicator is that cable's broken. Let me see if I can show you that. Let me flick over to the other camera. But I'm going to have to trim that. I'm going to have to trim that off. Because I'm not going to open the battery up and put that back in and resolder that on, because I'm not the one who damaged it. It was like that when I've just opened it up. But it wasn't like that last time I worked on this machine, because I would have advised to replace the battery. All it is an extra ground wire, so it's not going to hurt to trim this wire off and advise, basically, that the battery's damaged, get it replaced. That's pretty much it. But that wire was not disconnected. I remember the battery. It's the same battery. It's you know, an off-brand battery. I remember the battery, but that wire was not disconnected. And I'll leave a link to that stream where I worked on this particular device down in the video description. But yeah, one faulty filter, and it's docking absolutely fine. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you do have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section down below. As always, I will do my best to help. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It turns out around about 70% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you are new to the channel, or if you're just not subscribed for some reason, it's free. Yeah, it's completely free. You can only gain from it. So please hit subscribe. I will really appreciate it. And if you do want to support the channel, there's some Amazon affiliate links to most of the tools that I use in the workshop in the video description. As well as you can become a member, become a supporter on Patreon, and you can become a channel member on YouTube as well. All channel members and Patreon supporters get early access to all of my videos. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye for now.